Your new laptop could cost 70% more. CES 2025 shows the coolest tech you need to know about. The Arizona bomber used ChatGPT to plan his attack, and Meta faces even more criticism for killing content moderation. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. The Consumer Technology Association, the CTA, warns that laptops, smartphones, and other tech gadgets could get a lot more expensive if the incoming U.S. administration imposes its proposed import tariffs. How expensive? Well, in some scenarios, according to the CTA, laptop prices could jump by as much as 68%. The proposed tariffs would add a 10 to 20% global tax on imports, with an additional 60 to 100% tariff on products coming out of China. The CTA says this could lead to sharp price hikes across a range of devices from tablets to game consoles. Laptops, tablets, and smartphones would see the biggest increases. CTA CEO Gary Shapiro argues that these tariffs are essentially a tax on American businesses and consumers, and he warns that the added cost could reduce consumer spending power by up to $143 billion a year. The incoming administration believes tariffs will push manufacturers to move their factories back to the U.S., but the report casts some doubt on that idea. Instead, it suggests production would simply shift to other low-cost countries. And even if some manufacturing did return to the U.S., companies would still rely heavily on Chinese suppliers for components like batteries and processors. There's also the risk of retaliatory tariffs from countries like Canada and Mexico, which could hurt American exporters, and consumers might see higher prices on a wide range of goods. But if you're looking at a new laptop or even a smartphone, it's worth keeping an eye on this developing story. As we noted yesterday at CES, NVIDIA kicked things off with an address from CEO Jensen Huang on his predictions for what he called physical AI, the next huge transformation brought about by AI. But CES is not about megatrends. It's about the newest and coolest in tech. And even NVIDIA had some amazing stuff to reveal. Its Project Digits, a pocket-sized AI supercomputer, packs insane processing power. And AMD unveiled the Ryzen 9 9950X3D, its fastest CPU yet, with AI smarts built right in for gamers and power users. But Sony and Honda's joint venture, the Afeela 1 electric vehicle, wowed attendees with its advanced sensors and AI-driven interactions. It's a car that feels more like a futuristic companion. In a show where the contest is who can have the biggest screen, LG's Stand By Me 2 portable TV is perfect for binge watchers who like to move around. It's a screen that goes wherever you go, couch, kitchen, or backyard. We did a piece on the earbuds that can do translations, but Audio-Technica came up with a new set of earbuds called the ATH CKS 50 TW2, and they boast a crazy long battery life and the simple thing of snapping together magnetically for easy storage. No more fumbling for cases. Hyundai Mobis rolled out a full windshield holographic display for cars. Think heads-up display, but way cooler, like a sci-fi movie right on your windshield. I don't know how that helps your driving, but it's cool. Fitness buffs will love Suunto's waterproof headphones that not only store 8,000 songs, but also give AI-driven tips on your swimming technique. Music and coaching all in one. Roborock Saros Z70 RoboVac brings the robotic vacuum back with a robotic arm that can move obstacles out of the way. And from what I looked at, it also looked like it might actually be able to go up and down stairs. No more rescuing your vacuum from chair legs or other hazards. And finally, Anker's Solix Solar Beach Umbrella charges your devices while you relax by the pool, or in my case, by the lake. But if you live where I do, where it was minus 21 this morning, that beach umbrella is something to dream about. A troubling new development in Las Vegas has raised concerns about how generative AI tools like ChatGPT can be misused. Police officials revealed that Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty Green Beret, used ChatGPT to assist in planning his recent attack near Trump Towers. Livelsberger reportedly queried ChatGPT for information on explosive targets, bullet speeds, and even the legality of fireworks in Arizona. The Afghanistan veteran later took his own life and injured 7 bystanders after he blew up a rented Tesla Cybertruck using improvised explosives. Las Vegas police confirmed that this is the first known case on U.S. soil where ChatGPT was used to help plan an attack. Sheriff Kevin McMahill called it a concerning moment for law enforcement. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, expressed regret over the incident, but a spokesperson stated that the AI model only provided publicly available information and issued warnings against harmful activities. OpenAI emphasized its commitment to responsible AI use and is cooperating with law enforcement. Authorities believe Livelsberger was struggling with PTSD and personal issues. He left behind notes expressing concerns about societal collapse and support for figures like Elon Musk and President-elect Donald Trump. But his motives remain under investigation. And Meta's decision to drop its fact-checking program on Facebook and Instagram, switching to a crowdsourced system like X's Community Notes, is drawing enormous criticism in the media, but it's also causing some consternation in the tech community and with Meta's own employees. Perhaps it's because it raises a big question. What happens when facts no longer matter online? Maria Ressa, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, says that this could lead to dangerous times for journalism and democracy. She warns social media could turn into a tool for manipulation, especially by authoritarian regimes. And Ressa would know. She faced arrest, legal battles, and threats for exposing corruption and standing up for press freedom. Meta defends its action, saying it's about free speech, but critics see a different story. For example, the company added UFC CEO Dana White to its board, sparking backlash amongst its employees. Beyond obvious questions from the employees about what value a fight promoter would bring to a social network, White's history also includes a public incident where he was caught on video slapping his wife. Whether you agree with his qualifications or you think that his personal life is relevant or irrelevant, it does allow for legitimate questions about Meta's leadership choices. And in a company that supposedly defends free speech, employee criticism of his appointment was deleted by Meta's HR team under its own community engagement expectations policies. You can wonder why employees are crying hypocrisy. Critics point to other issues. Meta's new policy allows for some derogatory marks about LGBTQ people, for example, calling that part of political and religious discourse. Advocacy groups like GLAAD say this normalizes hate speech under the guise of free expression. And full disclosure, as a parent of a transgendered child, having lived this, I find it hard to hear most of the misinformation that's out there, but I suck it up. But more importantly, like any parent, I'm always concerned for the safety and happiness of kids. I can't see how derogatory terms leveled at them has any religious or community value. But you don't have to be too cynical to think that this might not be a defense of free speech. Some critics are saying it's a political move aimed at trying to placate the new president of the United States. They point out that Meta recently gave $1 million to President-elect Trump's inaugural fund. I try to stay away from partisan politics on the podcast, but factual criticism of technology leadership should be fair game. And I want to point out I'm not defending political correctness. That's a debate for a different podcast. Here's my point. In technology, we are supposedly adherents to the scientific method. We rely on objective decision-making based on facts. And who among us, at some time in their career, hasn't been upset when we carefully prepare a report based on logic and facts and find out that our conclusions are ignored? And who among us hasn't moderated a discussion forum and insisted on some basic rules for the discussion, like sticking to the facts? So it raises the question, what happens in a world where facts no longer matter. Are we better off as technologists or worse off? And that's our show for today. You can find the show notes at technewsday.com or .ca. Take your pick. From time to time, I admit I put my own opinion into the show, but I love to hear yours as well, whether you agree with me or not. You can reach me at editorial@technewsday.ca. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday.